Alright guys, welcome back. Thanks again for joining me. Sorry about that little bit of a break, but gotta let my voice rest once in a while. Anyway, so like I was saying, I do have yet another match already picked out. This is supposedly an hour-long game or so from the Dota 2 Cast It Lounge on Reddit. So this should be yet another fun little game. Hopefully, according to their description, it has a lot of
Queen of Pain.
nice little fights in it, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm speeding up until the end of the phase. Oh, excuse me. Actually, I think I'm a little too far now. I jumped a little too far ahead.
Queen of Pain.
I haven't switched the overlay over just yet. So anyway, we got 10 seconds left on the phase, so I'm going to go ahead and switch it right over. And it did. There we go.
Tinker.
All right, continuing to see more Tinker play. Fortunately, this time, strangely enough, we do have a Death Prophet and a Quap on the side of the Dire. So that's going to be a little tricky to see who gets the middle lane there. And as usual, when it comes to the all-pick games, that does mean it's giving me a little bit less time to formulate a strategy on what each team is running. Nonetheless, I hope you guys are in for another hour-long game because I am. Let's see what happens, right? Waiting for the last pick on the orange player. Choosing to lose a little bit of extra gold for that one. We're going to ignore him and let the rest of the game begin. On the Enigma, we have Jesus had Aegis. On the Tinker, we had Manny is Salesman. Disruptor is Luke. With the Tinker play, we have Gizmo Pantera.
30 seconds to battle.
And unfortunately, we do still have a counter picker on Orange Radiant. So we're gonna wait for that one. On the Dire, we have on the Lifesteer Maharas. Mirana is being played by B Airs. Juggernaut is being played by Bogsa. Death Prophet is Arrows. I'm gonna call him Arrows. And Queen of Pain is the
begins.
YY. Lycan even being played by Dreadland. So very late pickup on his hour-long Dodo best Dota. I agree. We'll see what happened. I do like that title though. Jesus had Aegis. Very smart name. Either way, we do see the Tinker fighting off against the Quap in the middle lane. Nice little tri-lane up in the top lane on the Dire. Come on, camera. There we go. Now it's working. Up against a beautiful little Timbersaw and Lycan. Very interesting. I'm surprised to not see him jungling earlier on, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think about the camera angle, because I've been struggling with it, especially when you have one that's a locked mouse wheel. This feels a little too close when it comes to working with the camera system, but at the same time, this feels a little far back. So I would rather... I'm going to stick with this one, but know that I don't like it. So if I keep switching back and forth, it's because of that. Disruptor taking a lot of harassment coming up from the bottom lane, but is forced to... He does fortunately get out before giving away the first blood. He's going to continue to get picked at. He's down to 150 health, but fortunately he's got some tangos, and he's going to smartly pick up a healing and a magic stick, hopefully to keep him alive a little bit longer. Up in the top lane, we do see some reverse aggression against this Death Prophet. It is about time for the Radiant to get some fight back. Lifestealer is even jungling from the beginning of this game, so waiting for the early game aggression from the Dire.
A penny denied is a penny earned.
Haven't heard that little saying before. That's kind of cool. Nonetheless, Death Prophet completely blowing all of our mana too early in the game over a couple of sweeps. And the haste rune being picked up by the Mirana as she returns to the bottom lane to hopefully see if she can get an early level 1 arrow. And it's going to whiff, unfortunately. It's not going to hit the Disruptor. And nonetheless, mana's going to be stopped. Disruptor choosing to go in with this Mirana. Not sure that's a very smart play, and she obviously doesn't understand how the Disruptor Ball works as she blows her own mana. As we return to the top lane, we see the Death Prophet desperately, slowly picking back up her mana for another Crypt Swarm, and she's probably going to blow it very shortly after this one. Teasing the last hit, getting a last couple of hits on the Lycan. We're going to potentially choose to initiate on top of her. No, back in the bottom lane, we actually have the Mirana getting the first blood down in the bottom lane. I expected it in the top lane, and I was wrong. And we have a nice little wolf that got caught off guard. Sorry about missing the first blood. I was looking at the wrong fight. Either way, Disruptor returning back to the lane. He's got an early level 4 against the Juggernaut now, but this lane just became infinitely harder because of it.
Missing bottom.
Lycan waiting for an opportunity to hopefully wrap around and get this Death Prophet, but no, it disappeared instead. He's going to return to the middle lane. See if he can help work on... We do have 3 close to the middle lane now, especially with this Life Stealer who's just very slowly working on this lane. Working on the creeps. Oh boy, I hope I'm not starting to get actually tired now. That would not be good. All the while, back up at the top lane, we do have a very out-of-position Timbersaw. He might just get arrowed here very shortly. The Lycan, excuse me, the Death Prophet, not doing a very good job helping the buddy out, get the fight, but ultimately he's going to get out. There comes the stun. They're going to continue to dive it and waiting for the... Not enough mana. As a matter of fact, there goes the last hit to the Death Prophet, who's going to get the kill on the Timbersaw. So... it did pay out in the long run, especially waiting for that, waiting for the perfect time for that arrow to be thrown. Otherwise, not a whole lot of other fight potential going on right now. Everybody else just resetting to their standard lanes. The Tinker back in the middle lane. Lycan doing a little bit of farming. Lifestealer doing a lot of farming. Mirana doing a lot of wandering and roaming. And a couple of other one-on-one lanes. So right now, everything is very mirrored.
Dire's bottom
Waiting for
tower is under attack.
that extra bit of potential. We do have the Mirana doing a great job of continuing to spot out players. There goes the arrow. It's going to miss the Tinker. Unfortunately, just gave it a shot and didn't pay out. Very nice try, very close arrow, but just didn't work. Up in the top lane, we have the Timbersaw continuing to harass this Death Prophet. He may be a whole level behind, as well as the Death Prophet having her disgusting ultimate. Exorcism is the name of it. But she's not going to pop it just yet. Back in the middle lane, we actually have initiated on top of the Tinker. He's going to take a lot of damage, but March of the Machines is going to secure his life for now. Back in the bottom lane, we continue to see this Disruptor just picking on the Juggernaut. Oh, I like that setup. I do like that costume. Sorry about the lack of talk right now. Just trying to keep my voice for the entire hour here, as well as getting coffee into my system. So, hope you guys can forgive me. I'll figure out a better system soon enough. Quap actually picking up the beautiful little regen rune. That's going to mean a lot of harassment from her. Especially since, strangely, she did not put her level 6 into her Sonic Wave. Absolutely choosing not to put her point in Sonic Wave. I don't understand this. But, whatever, I guess. I don't know why you wouldn't put a point in that. Maybe it's just because I don't play Quap. Either way, we have the Mirana, who has smartly returned to the bottom lane to actually help push against the duel. The Lycan and the Disruptor, who are pushing in this lane absolutely hard. Something fierce. Disruptor being forced to pop yet another mana. That's pretty much all he's... Excuse me. That had to have been the Lycans. Popping it on his buddy. And here we might see some initiation on top of the Juggernaut. Interesting little slow coming on top of him from the Mirana. This is a bad initiation for the... Why didn't he not leave? I don't understand. The Disruptor took a lot of damage, and there goes the Juggernaut getting a double kill out of it. Thank you to the
Radiant's
Mirana.
top tower is under
And
attack.
this is absolutely taking off on the Dire right now. Radiant are going to need to figure something out. Perhaps in the sense of some very unfortunate rat Dota in their late game. But either way, Dire doing a great job with their Mirana helping them out. Oh, whiffed. No, it barely caught him. He did take the massive damage, and he is forced to completely back out. He pops a bottle charge just to stop him from having those last couple of points ticked away. But that would have been a
Radiant's
great little
bottom
first
tower
kill
is
for the
under
Quap.
attack.
Would have evened out the boards, especially because do we have... Nope, Lifestealer doesn't have a kill either. So I guess that's... Either way, you get what I'm trying to say. Up 5-0 in 8 minutes. That's great for the Dire. We have the Timbersaw who's pushing the Quap back, the Death Prophet back.
Missing bottom.
And he's ready to fight. He's going to continue pushing it on top of him. Drops down the ultimate just to slow down the enemy. And that's going to be a great little kill. There goes the arrow. Going to completely whiff the Timbersaw. He is out of mana, so he can't just either pop his boots nor turn around and run away. Not sure why she's running from this. I mean, she may have low health. Nah, that would be why. They are both completely out of mana is the problem here. Either way, Timbersaw continuing to bully his way into the lane. Mirana having no mana boots at this point in the game, unfortunately. So that means there is not gonna be an arrow anytime soon. Back in the bottom lane, we do have some further potential initiation on top of this Disruptor, who's gonna have the tower stop firing on him in the nick of time with 15 health to his name, and he's gonna get out. All the while, the Death Prophet popping an ultimate on top of this Timbersaw. This is going to be one very dead Timbersaw, very short, especially with the Quap choosing to come in and help out. You went the wrong way. All you did was buy time, buddy. Sorry. Go home, heal up, and try again.
Dire's bottom
Disruptor
tower
also
is
running
under
away as
attack.
best as he can, getting out of these
Dire's
fights.
structures are fortified.
Healing up. He's... Come on, I'm grasping at straws right now. Teleport scroll is being picked up on the Disruptor, so he doesn't have to make that mistake one more time of hoofing it all the way back and forth. Enigma actually getting the first tower of the game, picking off the bottom tier 1. So that's going to open up some great little Roshan potential, especially with the Lycan starting to get his levels. I take that back. I thought he was 8 for some reason. He is not. He's only 5. So very slow play. He is still working on his Vladimir's, and he is a little ways away from that. Actually... What is he missing? He's got 3. I don't remember what the 4th item is for it before the recipe, but he's getting close. Either way, it will be here very shortly. Especially once he hits 6. Hopefully that is when we will see the Roshan attempt for the game. Death Prophet continuing to build herself up in the top lane. Got herself a beautiful little level 9. Doesn't necessarily hurt. Here we go on top of the Timbersaw. Wanting a second kill on top of this Death Prophet. And he's not going to get it. Going to choose to take a couple steps back out. And continue to just harass the lane. And why wouldn't you? The Juggernaut actually getting the Lycan. Checking out the wards. And did they have any wards in that jungle? No. So they just did some clever little scouting. And that does in fact delay Lycan's Vladimir very significantly. All the while, Tinker continuing to push back in on top of the nicely stacked Ancient Camp. Excuse me.
Radiant's
He's up
bottom
1,700
tower
gold.
is under
Potentially,
attack.
he is working on that. I am in the wrong view. Yeah, you spoke too soon about that camera coverage there. Radish, excuse me. My mistake. My apologies. Either way, what I was going to call Tinker is now continuing to work on his Dagon. So that should be up very shortly. And I'm not sure it's the very first thing he should be rushing at this point. He doesn't have a whole lot else to work on. They're down 1-7, and they're losing towers. The Lycan doesn't even have the opportunity to go on top of Roshan just yet. So this is not where the Tinker should be going. Maybe... Not sure where else he would be going, to be honest with you. I don't play it, but I just feel like the Aegis at this point of the game is a little too unnecessary. Nonetheless, they're going to continue pushing on top of the Queen of Pain. She's going to drop down very shortly to the Timbersaw, but not before the Enigma drops down to this Mirana. If she even hurries up there quick enough, she might even very much And he drops the black hole to stop this Marana, but it's not going to do any good. Timbersaw whiffing his own Timber Chain. And it looks like that's going to be a second kill, and beautifully done by the Marana. Finally getting the moving target arrow on top of that Timbersaw. 2 kills for the Dire. Well played, and we are up 1-9 on the side of the Dire. I need to stop saying we. The Dire are up 1-9. Over 3,000 gold, near 7,500 XP. And they're going to continue picking on this Death Prophet. She's going to be glimpsed right back into the Static Storm, slowed down by the Enigma, and that's going to be one dead player. One dead Death Prophet. And Disrupt, really no strong gold coming out of that. They did lose 2 kills for that, but... And furthermore, they only split 150 gold. Really, what's that going to give either? Nothing. Liking continuing to do whatever he can on these creeps and just farm whatever he can. Finally has the Vladimir. Finally finishes his boots. He's going to go for the Roshan very shortly, hopefully, because that's just what they need. They need some fight potential. Maybe check out the gold. I just did. I will double check it again. I am very sorry if I'm not doing enough for you guys. Either way, we're about 3,500 gold and about 6,250 on the side of XP on the side of the Dire. On the side of the... Yes, Dire. Why did I think it was backward for a second? Either way, we do finally see a Marana. Oh, they're going hunting. They want to see if they can find that Lycan again. And here comes the beginning. Where's that arrow going to strike first? She doesn't have any... she didn't have any more mana. So... They might very well find this Timbersaw. They did spot him earlier. They're going to chase him down, especially with the creeps on top of him. This will be a great little tower and a kill on top of the Timbersaw. Waiting for the damage. There goes the Juggernaut on top of him, getting the kill. And that's going to be an easy tier 1 for the Dire. Continuing to take up their lead. All the while,
Dire's middle tower is
don't recall where that second kill came from. It couldn't have been. It might have been that Timbersaw. Oh, no. That was against the Death Prophet up here. That's right. So, continuing to see more tier 1s dropped on the side of the Radiant. We do have one, the tier 1s in the bottom lane, each gone. And we're going to see some initiation on top of the Death Prophet. She's going to drop very shortly. Who's the kill going to go to? Hopefully the Tinker. He is going to get it. And that very well may be... That's going to be his... what's it called? The Intelligence Wand. That's necessary. I don't remember the name of the item. But nonetheless, hopefully it'll be here very soon. He is very much starved for mana. And if he's going to continue fighting the way he is, he needs that. He's going to need that Dagon. Lifestealer picking up an armlet. I almost feel like it's a race to see who gets to the Roshan first, whether it's the Lifestealer or the Lycan now. Especially with this potential pickoff on the Disruptor. Arrow daftly misses.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And he defensively drops a nice little kinetic field. He's going to run away. I almost called it a ring. As we have some nice little Enigma play potentially coming in the mid. I thought they were going to go on this Quap. Come on. And they're going to continue to... They spotted out the wrong one. Took him out very quickly. And Timbersaw just running for his life now against this Quap. He's down almost out of the game. And he's going to be just fine. Wizardry. Staff of Wizardry. Thank you. I would pull open. I can pull open a shop. Why couldn't I pull it open earlier? Oh boy, some games it works, some games it doesn't. And I'm focusing on the wrong part. My bad. Nice little the black hole being dropped, picking off 2 on the side of the Dire. That's even going to mean a 3rd when it comes to. Come on, camera. There goes the Marana dropping down. Great little 3 kills on the side of the Radiant, all for the cost of 1 on the side of the Dire. Or for the Dire. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, Mechanism finished up on the Enigma. Finally seeing some fight potential showing up on the side of the Radiant. They want some blood. They want to make up their tower losses. They want to make up their deaths.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And the Lifestealer ready to fight. He's coming in on top of this little... Enigma, he doesn't have anything to his name. This is going to be an easy little pick-off. Open wound, slowing him down. You should not have been there. Playing way too greedy, and he's going to pay the ultimate price. Tower 1, even within deny range, as soon as this Lifestealer may choose to do so. No, it does look like the Nope, the Death Prophet's not going to take it either. Either way, the Tinker's back in the middle lane. He's going to start Disruptor's back in the middle lane. Where's the Tinker? Pushing back in the bottom lane. Not where the camera needs to be anyway. We have the Disruptor being spotted out. Mirana arrow does miss him. Blade of Alacrity. I gotta have the names memorized better than this. Death Prophet pushing back in the middle lane. She's got a level 2 ultimate at this point. That's going to be a big difference, especially because of it's just such a big difference in damage. 4 spears to 12. Towers are going to begin melting, especially back in this middle lane where it does look like the Radiant want to fight. The Dire want to fight. Juggernaut gets a kill, almost dying himself. Timbersaw desperately trying to get that kill before he gets picked off by the Death Prophet. There goes her ultimate. It was almost ready to be popped earlier, so we do see it now. And she's going to drop. Strangely enough, maybe she needs to pick up a Yules. She needs to finish off her Yules very shortly if she actually wants to have that invulnerability. 2 for 2 going on. The Radiant mid tier 1 does survive a little bit longer. Enigma finishing off the Quap, actually, as she does get away. Lots of sporadic fights all over the place, to be honest with you. So we'll wait for an actual congregated team fight. We'll see if that happens. Quap ready to push back in the lane. And ultimately, other than the last hits going up on the side of the Lifestealer, the rest of the team are doing a bang-up job on the kills. The Dire are just taking off right now. Over 5,000 gold and near 7,500 XP. And we finally do see the first attempt on the Roshan with the Lycan. Maybe I'll just start doing that with the camera instead. So now that the Dire have gotten a little wise to what the Dire or the Radiant are trying to do, fortunately they did have the check-in comments. You haven't said anything new. Just double checking. So fortunately, either way, the Lycan was easily able to get out of that fight. Mirana doing a little poking around, scouting out, and ultimately not going to find anything. Timbersaw being spotted by the Mirana. He's going to get stunned by the arrow. She's going to jump in. Is she going to do enough damage? She's not going to jump in, but that's still going to be one very dead Nope, he's going to get out, fortunately due to his buddy, little Timbersaw. And the Lycan's actually going to get the kill on the top of the Juggernaut, and the Radiant are ready to fight against this. There goes the Mirana very shortly, not before the Death Prophet completely biffs her ultimate, just to die to the Lycan. And up above, we do have the Timbersaw, or excuse me, Tinker, continuing to check out that Mirana. Does escape with her life. I thought it was certain for her to die. Quap actually being picked by this Disruptor. She's going to blink right out and be okay. If only he would have dropped that level 4 Thunderstrike, that would have been a very dead Queen of Pain. But alas, chose not to take the kill. That's too bad. Either way, going to return to the middle lane where the Tinker said, enough, we're going to take this tier 1 mid. We want this. And there's nothing the Dire are choosing to do to stop this. 2 down, Queen of Pain licking her wounds. And now we have the Mirana finally returning. Nope, canceling the ultimate. She pops the ultimate, but for what? The Lifestealer is only going to be choosing to initiate on top of this Enigma. Now that the tower's down, I'm going to switch over to that open wound, slowing down the Enigma. And another black hole being popped, but doing nothing but slowing them down. This is a completely wasted ultimate other than Tinker. Okay, I take it back. It gets him out of the fight, but Dire absolutely get the better half of that. A black hole down is not what the Dire want, or not what the Radiant want at this point. So this is Dire's chance to continue to go in and fight, especially with the Lycan working on the Roshan. He doesn't have Wolves up for a little bit longer. He's only got the Basher and the Vladimirs. So not too farmed. It's going to be a very slow, steady fight. And the Dire are going to choose to go ahead and fight it. They've got the top being pushed in, the mid being double pushed in, the Mirana right behind him, and the Lifestealer just farming it up. So otherwise, the Radiant just being forced to take a couple steps back and slow everything down. They can't fight. They won't fight.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
And let's see if the Dire actually want to choose to do anything about this. Okay, Death Prophet pops ultimate, and there goes the first kill. No, the Death Prophet's actually going to barely get out. Nope. Disruptor finally making up for his mistake, getting the Death Prophet. Juggernaut getting the kill. 2 down on the Dire, or on the Radiant, all for a Death Prophet. So, actually, no, we do continue to see more Queen of Pain taking damage. Misses barely. She just got out of that fight. All the while, the Lycan choosing to run away. He does have an Aegis, but there is no follow-up with the rest of the Radiant team. They are all dead for the most part. So that's going to be an Aegis popped. Dire's choosing to continue fighting. They want to pick off this Lycan. And being very confused on whether or not they should fight or not. They are going to go ahead and retreat out after they attack out this tower, take their prize, and walk away safely.
Has fallen. Dire's top tower has fallen.
All the while, Enigma finally getting the tower he desperately tried to get for the last 2 deaths. And not sure if it was worth it, but that's what they chose to go for either way. So, how many deaths did he give over streak to that Lycan, or that Life Stealer for it? 1? Actually, it was almost a second, but either way. Lots of farm for this Death Prophet. Just straight giving her gold. Not what you want. Perseverance coming into play. I would believe that's going into a... maybe a refresher? Maybe a bloodstone? Not entirely sure. Guess we'll find out what she's going to be building into. Mirana starting up the initiation. We're going to see some great little fight coming here in the middle lane. They want to find this disruptor. Waiting for the arrow. It's not being played just yet. Wasn't really needed. Tinker's going to teleport in way too late. Cancel it. And the ultimate on the Mirana now expiring, so giving the Dire another chance to run away. Back in the bottom lane, we do have the Enigma, who does have the black hole very soon, but it's not going to be in time to stop this Juggernaut from getting out of the fight. I don't think it's going to matter. 5 seconds until Blade Fury until Omnislash comes back into the fight. That's going to be some great fight potential coming in from the Juggernaut, but in the meanwhile, Lifestealer taking a kill, Lycan taking a kill. 3 down on the Dire. Arrow barely missing the Timbersaw, and the Lifestealer is going to get 1 kill out of it. Turns off the armlet just to get himself out of this fight. Tinker being caught out by the Lifestealer. What's he doing? Choosing to slow play that Tinker. Not a smart idea, especially when he's got the gold now. He's got a Mystic Staff. Is he working on Sheepstick first? He's got to be working on Sheepstick first. Finishes off Ultimate Orb. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sheepstick. Okay. I forgot that it required an Ultimate Orb. So, my bad there. Either way, back in the middle lane, we've got the Disruptor pushing back, doing whatever he can to get himself whatever gold he can. Dire very much taking the lead when it comes to last hits. 5,000 gold. Only 2,500 XP. It is beginning to... Yes, I agree. That Death Prophet is just using the wrong time to pop her ultimates. She's doing it right before death, and that's not when you want to do it. If you're going to do that, save it for the towers instead. So, nonetheless, what do you expect? These are pub matches, so they are what they are. Nonetheless, Death Prophet continuing to work on... Not sure. She finished off with drums since last time we checked up on her. Disruptor popping ultimate and completely whiffing the kill on top of the Mirana. I'm not sure why she's choosing to stand still. Either way, he's going to feed himself straight over to the Queen of Pain, being baited right into a team fight. But nonetheless, the Disruptor almost soloed the Mirana. Juggernaut in the bottom lane actually taking out the Timbersaw, or excuse me, in the jungle. So a double for naught for the Dire. They're continuing to push their lead. They're almost a full 10 kills up right now. Tinker just continuing to do whatever he can to push in lanes. And, okay, I was like, wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong set of items. My apologies. Back in the bottom lane, just trying to get whatever momentum pushed back on as they can. They're losing this desperately. Even though they have a full set of tier 1s down, so do the Dire, and they're up a full 9 deaths, or 9 kills. So, it sways back in their favor ever so slightly, but nonetheless, Dire have not lost any part of their advantage. They're going to continue to push it. And Lycan just very slowly continuing to build up. What does this one build into again? It does... Roshan timer, go away. Diffusal... Abyssal Blade. Abyssal Blade, right? Yes! Alright, good. I'm getting the names down right. Continuing to work, as finally we do see a Death Prophet not popping the ultimate before death. She pops it smartly. against one target, but it is better than nothing. Enigma doing a beautiful black hole, catching two, continue to work on top of the Juggernaut, who is going to drop down. Great play on the side of the Radiant. They get the Quap, they get the Death Prophet, they get the Juggernaut, and they stop the Death Prophet ultimately. 4 kills. Sorry, I was too busy laughing at the dead Death Prophet. Okay, whatever. Either way, Radiant pushing back in the bottom lane, finally earning some nice little kills. The only one they don't take out is the Juggernaut, or the Lifestealer, because he's nowhere near. Choosing to take out, I believe, was that a double stack? I think it was a double stack. Could be wrong. Either way, Lycan picking up a very, well, moderately quick assault cuirass. 30 minutes in for that is not too bad, if I may say so myself. So Enigma finally finishing boots. I'd say he earned it with that last boots, or with that last black hole. Death Prophet returning to the lane. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? So, Radiant absolutely proving that they've got the late game potential. I'm not going to put Dire completely out of this fight. They have been showing themselves quite strong, but their whiffed ultimates and the great plays by the Enigma are just absolutely keeping Radiant in this game right now. We'll see what happens. Tinker continuing to push in for all the pushes that the Dire are doing. At least he's getting his gold out of it. He's got his level 1 Dagon out of this. And I hesitate to say that's what we're working on. Lifestealer being blown up by the Enigma. And great little plays. The Lycan actually gets picked off by the Juggernaut back up at the top lane right before the Disruptor finishes off the Juggernaut. This Disruptor, even though he is going after solo, well, not solo kills, he did help out a Juggernaut. There he goes down to the Mirana. And we do have the rest of the Radiant saying, get back here. We want to fight in the Bronx. Let's go. Mirana popping ultimate just to get everybody out of the fight. And Radiant are left with their head scratching. The Death Prophet pops ultimate, ready to fight back again. And that's not going to do anybody any good. Timbersaw getting the first kill. Tinker getting the second kill. Dire should have run when they had the chance. And that goes a full team wipe. I understand why the Dire tried to do it, but I didn't like it. They tried to play some hide-and-seek games with the Mirana ultimate, and unfortunately it didn't pay off. So, great job, Radiant. Let's take a look at those graphs. Gold's still 2,500 on their side, and the XP is absolutely blown up. That's closer to a about 8250 difference. Massive, massive swing, and the Radiant are saying, thank you for the tier 2s, buddies. We're going to take it, and there's little you can do about it. Lifestealer's the only one who can pressure it whatsoever, but that's the first of the tier 2s. We do have a return from the Juggernaut, and too little too late. No, the tower's actually going to remain standing, although in deny range, ever so slightly. Tinker going back to the bottom lane just to TP home, and he's going to get out. No problem. Disruptor, once again, playing foolishly, sticking his nose out. Is he at least warding? That's all he's doing. But now you need to go home. He's got 30 seconds on a TP, and if he's not careful, he's going to get caught out by this Death Prophet, or this Queen Pain. Back in the bottom lane, we are waiting on the Roshan, who's going to be back up in a minute. So that will be fun to watch. See who goes after it first, either the Lifestealer or the Dire, or maybe just simply the Lycan. Either way, he's going for Force Staff. That's going to be a lot of fun. Lifestealer actually picking off the Tinker. Where did... I missed it. I'm very sorry. Gosh. Here I am watching the top lane. All the while back in the middle lane, no camera. We do have the Timbersaw desperately wanting that Mirana. He's got to get the kill. While the Queen of Pain is forced to take a couple steps back. They do not want to let this tier 2 go away. Queen of Pain, or Death Prophet, strangely doing sweeps on, I don't know what she was shooting there for. I thought it was the Lifestealer, but why? It's the Lifestealer, so it's not on their team. I don't understand. Either way, tier 2 being pushed back on the top lane, all while the rest of the Radiant are being forced to defend. Look at that tower melt. It's already down half health, especially because of the Death Prophet ultimate. It is on level 3. It drops very quickly. All the while, the Lifestealer being forcing the Lycan to take a couple of steps back, only doing half damage to that
Dire's
tower.
bottom
If
tower
I were
is
him,
under
I would have
attack.
sniped that tier 2 mid, but I'm not playing this game. Death Prophet finishing off her Bloodstone, and we have a Maelstrom up on the Juggernaut.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So, Radiant continuing to prove that they want to fight as best as they can, forcing the Dire to just keep... And the Dire have no problem with that either. They're both great fight lineups. Juggernaut getting the kill on the Enigma.
My face.
The Timbersaw desperately tried to step in and help take a couple of those blows, but unfortunately the RNGesus chose to help out and take out that Enigma. So, unfortunately, that's just what happens. Tinker pushing back in that top lane, continuing to help against help out the Lycan's work. All the while, just waiting for another move. Both teams are waiting for mistakes. Actually, we have the Lifestealer who does smartly pick off the Disruptor. I'm looking at the map, but he was covered. I'm sorry about that. Excuse me. Juggernaut continuing to push back in the middle lane, or the bottom lane. Tinker sees it coming, drops a march in the machines, and forces the Juggernaut to take a couple of steps back out. Death Prophet pushing back in the middle lane. Now the Radiant are ready to fight against this Juggernaut. He doesn't have ultimate for another 10 seconds, but he's waiting for that timer to finish ticking down. There goes the Hex. They're going to start initiating him. Is he going to get out in time? I don't think so. They're going to keep working on him. 2 Radiant are absolutely blowing up 3 Dire. And there goes the arrow. It's going to barely miss the Timbersaw as he goes down to the Queen of Pain. Anyway, Tinker getting the Timbersaw, the Juggernaut. The Lycan's forcing the jump out of the Mirana. It doesn't matter. They're going to keep picking at her, and that's one dead Mirana. 2 for 2 trade. Excuse me, 2 for 1 trade. As the Radiant, although they lack numbers, make up for it in massive strength and just get the Dire out of their fight. What plays from the Radiant. And the gold is still not in their favor, but the XP is showing otherwise. So we're waiting for the... I would not be surprised if the next initiation for the Radiant is simply because the Dire, the entire team, choose to work on a tower together, and they get blown up in the process. Tinker finally actually, that's only level 3, so he's still slowly working on it. Actually, here comes the Disruptor. Death Prophet, the whiffs, and the Disruptor slowly gets him. He's not going to get away. That must have been a maximum range open wounds on top of that Disruptor. As the Lycan not getting spotted, Queen of Pain just last second getting caught out, slowly jumping in. Here comes the Tinker smartly jumping in to help him out as well as the Lycan runs away. Tinker popping some March on the machines just to help his buddy out. 3 Dire on top of 2 Radiant, and they can't do anything about it. Even the Death Prophet popping ultimate just to slow down this Tinker did a great job, because what was the Tinker going to be able to do about it? He kept popping his ultimate, but it wasn't going to be able to allow him Blink Dagger use. Just too much damage consistently. Very well played on that try with the Death Prophet. Finally toning in exactly how to play her character. As we do see that Aegis went over to the Death Prophet. Strangely, I would have figured the Juggernaut, but okay. Juggernaut, Lifestealer, Quap, you name it. But that's who they chose to work with it. And finally, we have the Yules being picked up on the Death Prophet. And that's going to make for some great initiation on her part. I would like to see her be able to blink in and then pop what I like to see. Completely unnecessary, but she does have a silence. And here come the Dire. They want a tower. There goes the stun on top of the Enigma. And open wounds dropping down on top of him as well. You're not given the chance to drop in a black hole. This is the Dire's opening. They want a tower. Disruptor pushing the Lifestealer back, sending him back to the tier 3. Doesn't matter. They're going to fight. They're going to take the tier 3. They're not going to take the tier 3. The tower smartly pushing back against that lane. All the while, Queen of Pain up in the middle, up in the top lane, pushing everything back as best as she can, and just doing whatever she can to stop a tier 2. Abyssal Blade finally finished on that Lifestealer. That's going to be some major pain. Oh boy, no thank you. Either way, The Radiant are ready to not, they're not ready to give up just yet. Here comes the arrow. It's going to catch the Lycan and just sound the alert for the Dire to continue running away. Disruptor pulling it back in. And what's she going to do? Hacks down, blown up by the Tinker. Absolutely wrecked. Getting out of our base and doing a great job. Very well played by the Radiant. Absolutely lining up everything together. And this very well may mean the tier 2 in the middle. Depending on how well they choose to back, I would think this is finally theirs. Juggernaut down for only another 10 seconds before the Mirana is next on the list. Silence from the Death Prophet.
Middle tower has fallen.
Disruptor waiting. He's got the glimpse. And there goes the Death Prophet ultimate as they continue to blow up the Disruptors. They're not ready to stop fighting. There goes the Lycan next. He is stunned, but not out of the fight just yet. They're not ready to stop fighting. Dire desperately chasing down both the Timbersaw and... Oh, come on, camera. Stop this.
Haste.
Lycan is barely going to get out. I guess I'm going to have to resort to just straight clicking on the map, which I don't like doing, but it's what it is. We do have the Dire saying, we only took out your Disruptor, but you can't fight us. They're a little cocky at this point, but they definitely have the team fight potential. They're not ready. They're not out of this fight by any means. Big swings both ways as the Dire are ready to continue pushing on this tier 3. Juggernaut's an ultimate, not back up for another 25 seconds. He's got nothing else really. I did see a fight once where a Juggernaut picked up a refresher orb. Non-stop ultimates. It was beautiful to watch. It was fun. Nonetheless, Death Prophet absolutely helping pick off this the Timbersaw dropping down. As here comes the black hole. But I think it was a little preemptive. The rest of the team was nowhere near to help out. So I didn't expect it. Doesn't matter. 3 down on the Dire. They're going to continue being picked off. There comes the initiation. And as late as it was, it does deliver, doing a great 4 kills on the side of the Dire. So even though it wasn't maybe planned, the Radiant did a great job being close enough to further initiate on top of that black hole. Very well played. The back and the forth is real. Look at this graph. Close to a 0 XP difference. Nonetheless, 8,000 XP, or 8,000 gold. I went kind of backward for my norm there.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And a Tinker destroying a tier 2. So, oh boy, what an even match. 40 minutes into the game. Tinker's continuing to push in the lanes. Everything's down. This very well could be a tier 2 in the top down as well. Timbersaw wants it. It's going to go down. Nobody on the Dire anywhere nearby.
Dire's structures
We do have the glyph being popped for the Dire, but that doesn't mean it's going to go down. That doesn't mean it's going to stop it. It's going to be dropped by the Queen of Pain. She's a little too late to run for the deny. And the Radiant doing absolutely picking themselves up from that fight. 4,000 gold on the side of the Dire, but ending very quickly. It's been a 6,000 gold swing in their favor. Well, close to their favor. And for the first time, well, excuse me, why am I saying the first time? The XP is back on their side. We have near a 5,000 graph difference. I felt like I was missing a death there for a minute. Disruptor barely getting out from something. Very sorry, almost missed that one. Either way, 5,000 swing on the XP. And this game is doing an immaculate job of entertaining me. I hope it's entertaining you. Once again, if you're with me in the where was the Mirana? Why was she picking on the Tinker? Very strange. I didn't expect that. I didn't see that coming in the least. My mind was over here in the middle lane. It's where everybody else is. Either way, the Lycan being caught and picking off the Queen of Pain back in the ancient camp. The rest of the Dire saying, nope, we're going to take a couple back. We don't want to fight that. It could have been different if it was 3v1, but whatever. Nonetheless, Tinker choosing to jump in on the beautiful the Wolves, keeping it alive long enough to jump in on. I do like that combo. I never really thought of that the Tinker could jump in on top of the Timberwolves. Either way, they're going to continue jumping on the Lycan Wolves. They're going to continue pucking on him. There goes the ultimate, popping him, getting him out of the fight as quickly as possible, while the Tinker continues to blow up. Excuse me, this Timbersaw. He's going to drop himself, And the Death Prophet's going to get a beautiful 550 gold out of it, as well as some extra creeps. An interesting little one-for-one trade there in that bottom lane. All the while, Timbersaw being completely caught out of position. He's going to try and go home. It's not going to happen. Yule's lifting him right up in the air, and that's one dead Timbersaw. Kills goes to the Death Prophet. Very late for the Enigma to drop a black hole, but it did its job. Almost. It's going to give a Life Stealer death. Very well played to the Lycan, getting that kill out of it. And we're going to see further initiation on top of the Mirana, who's going to be continuing. Come on, map. She's going to pop him up into the air and run away for it with her own life. Extra damage. There goes a Quid of Pain. Absolutely beautiful job. She's going to buy back instantly. As the Radiant are forced to retreat. They get more than enough out of this, especially with the buyback, and spend a 2-for-3 kill and a buyback. So much gold lost on their side. Enigma being lifted back up into the air. Lycan, what is he chasing right now? Once the Death Prophet gets the kill, not before he's about to die himself. He has ultimate. He's going to pop it, but only to fake out the Mirana. What a game of back and forth. Tinker buying back into the game. He's not going to be able to get anything out of this for a little while. No gold anyway. Probably just looking to have the tower saved. Oh, my voice is going bad. It's 9:12. I unfortunately will not have time for a third game tonight, but I do plan on doing more games tomorrow. So if you're up for it, please join me tomorrow after this game for more games. Gonna watch back over the middle lane as we wait for the Dire to get their chance to push back in this middle lane. They desperately do not want to lose a set of racks. Radiant are absolutely showing signs of life, pushing back in, looking for that first set of racks. Who's gonna get it? Fake Lycan completely pulling the lane back. Brilliant TI4 plays there. He's even gonna get a creep kill out of it. Oh, you gotta love it. He's even gonna get 2 out of it. Oh boy, what a tanky creep, or what a tanky illusion. Very well played illusion from the Lycan. And Respawn's gonna come back up in 15 seconds, waiting to see who's gonna get that third one. This should be the third kill, and likewise, the cheese is gonna be picked up, dropped as well. Death Prophet and the Juggernaut looking desperately over that top lane, waiting for that Tinker to pop his ugly little head up and just jump his bones. But it's not happening. Not yet. He's returned to the bottom lane. Mirana ultimate, desperately trying to get her out of the fight. She's going to be spotted out. That's a dead Mirana to the Tinker for a nice little 350 gold. And strangely enough, the rest of the team on the Dire are up to about 80 seconds usually when they die off. The Mirana's only up to about 55 just because of her passive plays. She's very far behind. I believe it's E is hero level. Yeah, she's the bottom of the barrel right now, which is explaining her low-end spawn timers. So, other than her arrow, I'm not and ultimate, of course, but I'm not sure what kind of team fight potential she's really got at this point. We have the Radiant. They want the Roshan. They're going to spot him. And likewise, do we have any wards for it? We do have a ward on the Dire. They do see it. They're going to choose to come in on this. They want to wait for just the right moment. Queen of Pain spooking around. Here comes her ultimate. Drops. Starts working out everybody. Doesn't matter. Ready to get the first Roshan kill. There goes the Juggernaut ultimate. Slowing everybody down. Getting the first 2 kills. 2 down on the Radiant. Black Hole being picked up on 4. What a beautiful job. Aegis being forced to pop. Queen of Pain dropping down as well. To the first casualty on the Dire. Not before all 5 on the Dire going away. Only because the Enigma who picked up the Aegis, he's going to go down next. He's already lost it. Beautiful, beautiful plays from the Dire. Even with a 4-man Black Hole. Just could not finish off the fight for the Radiant. And that's got to mean a set of racks. Come on, Dire. Get back into this into the tier 3, into the mid. That's quite a compliment. I do appreciate it, Radish. Unfortunately, I don't really have a time frame for it. I generally go in the evenings like this. I kind of came back from a hiatus. I had a, let's just, like I was saying earlier, I had a tech problem. I casted an entire night
Radiant's
on
middle
mute,
tower is
and I
under
didn't
attack.
know. And it was just so humiliating that I stopped for about 2 weeks to come back tonight. This is my first night back for a while. So I'll probably get back into a standard set of things for a while. But just keep checking back. Follow me if you would. I would love it. Either way, there goes the first set of racks. Radiant completely unable to follow through. And likewise, I mean, how could they? They had a black hole on 4 members, and they just couldn't do anything. Juggernaut getting the double kill. Come on, camera, you gotta stop fighting me there. That cleave, though, absolutely wrecking the Radiant. Continuing to shut out the Radiant. What else can they do? All the while, the only thing keeping the bottom and the top racks safe is the fact that the Dire have not pursued an extra set. There comes the Death Prophet ultimate. She's going to continue picking on that tier 4. Doesn't matter. The Lycans want some blood. He's going to continue working on top of the Juggernaut. Switch over to the Death Prophet, who just does not know the meaning of self-Yules. I don't think she understands why she should be using it on herself right now. But she doesn't. Whatever. Invisibility or smoke being or dust being popped doesn't matter. Murano getting away. Juggernaut getting away. Getting some great little gold. Finishing off a BKB. They're going to continue picking on this Enigma, who's going to be stunned and just completely hacked. He's not getting out of this. 800 gold going over straight to the Lycan. And any chance of coming back into this game, I'd have to say it's got to be soon. Once the Disruptor and the Timbersaw return to the fight, they'll still only about have 80 seconds until the Juggernaut on the Dire. It's their only opportunity to go 5v4. I don't know what else to tell the Radiant. They've lost a set of racks. They need a do or die push right now. And they're nowhere near one another. The rest of the Radiant being picked off by the bottom. There goes the Timbersaw and soon the Death Prophet as well. The Tinker doing what he can for this fight, but he jumped in the wrong position. I think it would have been far more important for him to stick mid lane and push in this racks. But him backing is not what they wanted to do. They choose to back smartly. The Sperm Arrow missing entirely. Timbersaw returning way too late to the lane. Being silenced out by the Death Prophet. Thank you very much, Radish. You have a wonderful evening. Please join me. I would love to see you come back again. And have a great evening. Dire, the Death Prophet popping her nice little BKB as she desperately tries to get out. She shouldn't have needed to buy one, to be completely honest with you. She had a Yules. That would have kept her alive from any situation. Nonetheless, Lycan going to desperately work on this tier 3. There goes the Aegis. Queen of Pain. Silencing, backing out. There comes... Actually, they're going to get spotted by the Lifestealer. He's going to do a lot of damage and pick off. No, the Enigma is going to be popped up into the air instead. And very much strange confusion. The Death Prophet saving that Enigma. That's not what he wanted to do. And the Tinker is going to be blown up. 400 gold going to the side of the Death Prophet. And they're going to continue working on him. This is Dire's opportunity. They've already taken a full set of racks, but right now I would rotate to the top lane. Take an easy set of tier 2s, and probably both of them. Quap finding the nice little regen. Lycan, why are you up here? This is not where you want to be. One misstep and he's going to be picked off. No, the Dire's are going to choose instead. We're going to take out the middle. The Disruptor choosing to push back in and stop with a nice little ring. Oh, my voice is going on me. There goes the tier 4s. It's being picked off. Sperm Arrow picking on the Disruptor, but it shouldn't be a whole lot. Juggernaut dropping ultimate. And there he goes down to the Queen of Pain, doing it first. Lifestealer going down, strangely enough. Black hole. Beautiful plays once again from this Enigma, doing a great job salvaging that tier 4, and the Radiant getting a 5-man kill. Barely holding on, getting the 5-man kill now where they weren't able to do it earlier. So if I keep saying this, they have one opportunity and they keep proving me wrong. Mirana buying back into the game. What other choice does she have? Lifestealer doing the same. The only teammate that actually has buyback once again is the Juggernaut. He's gonna do so, and this is gonna be the Radiant's chance. Excuse me. They want this tier 3. They need to relieve the pressure. They're gonna try. Not sure why the Lycan didn't choose to focus on that tower and chose to set on the creeps. Whatever. It gave Dire an opportunity to TP back into the game. Here we go. Here comes the start on top of the Lycan. He's going to be dropped down. He pops his ultimate. It's not enough. Juggernaut's going to get the kill for 800 gold. And the rest of the Radiant are forced to retreat. They're going to run as fast as they can. Enigma getting out half health. And, he didn't have his ultimate from earlier. So, bunch of plays back and forth. This is such a teeter-totter. We're looking at the graph. It was even there for a little while, and now it's 6,000 in their favor of the Dire. And it's so close on both sides. Nonetheless, Dire desperately have this fight. All they need to do is get a couple of more kills, be able to capitalize upon their kill on the Lycan. They don't have a buyback upon it. Here comes the Tinker, continuing to try and blow everybody up while he gets absolutely decimated by the Death Prophet. He needs to get rid of her before he melts himself. She finally gets herself up in the air. Doesn't matter. Tinker gets the kill. 1 down on the side of the Dire for 2 on the Radiant. Well, more specifically, the Lycan simply hasn't returned. Juggernaut wants this tower down. Aegis Glyph being popped. What a game for both sides. Dire are just trying to do whatever they can to work on this field, on this fight. Death Prophet buys back, whereas the Radiant are not. We're up to a 5-on-3 in the middle lane. We have 2. Timbersaw getting the Lifestealer, and the Juggernaut continuing to do work on top of this team. There goes the Tinker. He's about to blow up. Is he going to get the last hit? He can't get it, and he's going to survive. The Enigma continuing to 2-second stun against this Juggernaut and force him out of base. We're down to only the Disruptor down in the Radiant side. Dire, as fight this and keep an advantage, the Radiant are somehow able to hold on. And what a fight. Enigma drops the black hole on top of simply a Death Prophet. This is what they needed, and they're going to continue to pick on this blah 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 blah, the Mirana.
Radiant's middle tower is
She's going to go down to the Tinker, and this is it. 3 down. We don't have buybacks on the side of the Dire. Nobody can for a minimum 2 minutes. This is their chance. They've got 60 seconds. They want the racks. They need it so bad. They have the fight potential, but the creep waves are what are pushing everything in on their own. Juggernaut scouting out the rest of the Radiant. They're trying to see whatever they can solidify here in this fight. They get the tier 3s finally, maybe without the backdoor protection. They're gonna get it. There it goes. And here comes the first set of racks. Glyph being popped just to stop them. The Dire getting a cup. They're not gonna get it on second thought. Quap, I thought, got a kill. She did not. She's forced to pop BKB and get out. 4 down on the side of the Dire now. Juggernaut dropping for 100 seconds. And there goes the full set of wrecks. Radiant need this. They have 15 seconds until the Radiant begin returning into the fight. They're going to work on a second set of racks. They're doing it. They're getting their racks down and take it out. Tier 3s on the top lane finished off. They need this 5 seconds until the Lifestealer. They want the second set of racks. They need to return this level of pressure. If they get this, the Dire can't return it because they Radiant are continuing to have their tier 2s up. They're going to get 2 sets of racks. They want to fight. They still don't have a Juggernaut they have to deal with. Dire, the Disruptor, forcing to pop his ultimate, slow everybody down. But they're choosing to play it safe and take a couple of steps back. Tinker's going home. He's gonna get out. What a beautiful setup by the Radiant. They're gonna get out scot-free after taking out 2 sets of racks. No, I take it back. Queen of Pain taking out the Lycan. Massive damage. Lycan buying back, saying, screw you, you're not gonna take me out without a fight. Disruptor, not so fortunate. Getting out for a full 80 seconds. Timbersaw pushing back in the bottom lane. They need to defend these tier 2s. The longer they can hold them, the longer the mid and the top are going to push themselves in. The tier 4s being worked on all on their own. Dire forced to retreat, while Lycan doing work on the bottom lane. Everything I said earlier about the Dire pushing in, having the massive advantage, completely gone. The Dire still up on the gold, but it doesn't matter. They've got the XP, but it doesn't matter. This is not what the Dire want right now, for obvious reasons. They have so much against them. They have to focus these tier 2s. They're not getting the opportunity with the waves pushed in as far as they can, especially with the 2 sets of racks down. Right now, all the Radiant need to do, they need to go in, they need to take out the Roshan. They even have a cheese to pick up. I'm surprised the Radiant are not choosing to go in on this. Enigma have a full... oh, here we go. This is it. The Dire badly picked out a place that he wants it so bad. The Enigma, he's going to start off stunning. The Death Prophet's going to melt. Here comes the Juggernaut working on top of the Enigma. He was lifted up into the air, so he didn't take damage while he kept losing the jumps. Tinker blowing up the Juggernaut. 2 down on the side of the Dire. Is this a 3rd set of racks? There still is no buyback on the Dire. Except for the Lifestealer. He's the only one who's got it. Oh boy. This is Radiance. This is their chance. They might just take it right here.
Dire's bottom tower.
They're going to work on it. There is no glyph up. Even with that, even without backdoor protection, it doesn't matter. They're working on that tower. They're going to continue working on the Lifestealer, who's going to get picked off. He buys back into the game. There are no more buybacks on the Dire. They can't fight. Mirana being picked off as well.
Dire's bottom tower.
We haven't even seen the black hole. They're probably waiting for that Mirana. Or for the Juggernaut once again. Queen of Pain jumping back desperately. She blinks and then pops BKB. There it goes on top of the Lifestealer. He has no buyback. He's gone. He's out for 2 minutes. That's way too much. And there goes the full set of tier 3 bottom racks. They have mega creeps. There's nothing the Dire can do. Well played, Radiant. You got your advantage. You got your footwork. And the early game mistakes from the Dire, as great as they were able to completely recuperate from it. They get a full set of racks in the mid. They take a tier 4, but ultimately it was not enough. And the Radiant, oh my gosh, such bad manners. Here come the tier 4s, and the Radiant are going to do it. What a beautiful game, just after the 60-minute mark. And the Radiant have done it.
Dire's Ancient is
Great job. I have to say the MVP of this game was the Lycan, without a shadow of a doubt. He absolutely was where he needed to be. Absolute damage. Great jobs. Disruptor, playing like a pro. What a support player. Did a great job. And that is it. Once again, great job, Radiant. You did an amazing job. Dire, you gave it your best shot. Took out center racks, took out a mid, and tier 4, and unfortunately, it just was not enough. Nonetheless, beautiful game for both teams. And yeah, anyway, that is it for me today. My name is Ninja Chris. This has been yet another Ninja Chris cast. If you like what I'm doing, I would love it if you followed me. Check out the little follow button down below. I will be continuing this tomorrow and as many other days as I can, except for TI4. I am going to be at the International 4 if you want to meet me. Not like I'm a personality or anything like that, but I would love to find other people to chat with and talk about it with Dota. Not like I won't find that as is from the International, but either way, I will be back tomorrow, Wednesday evening. Please follow me. If you have anything that you want me to play, let me know on Reddit. Loved having you. And thanks again. It's been a great day. It's great to be back. And have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.